Hey guys, so today is going to be a throwback video of using some makeup items that perhaps we haven't seen in makeup tutorials in quite some time. I was watching some of my favourite old YouTubers and I just came across some of these products again, and I was in their favourites videos and like tutorials and stuff, and I was like, oh my goodness, I think I still have some of this stuff and I have not used it in ages, so why not throw together a video to where I can use them? And so that's what I've done. I have quickly just changed my makeup over a little bit because it didn't come out perfectly, because some of these products are very old and I discovered that a couple of them were probably expired. Please ignore those ones, but it came out okay considering that this is probably products from about 5 to 7 years ago. So get ready for some throwbacks and some nostalgic moments of some products and enjoy the video. So now we're going to do my makeup with some of these really old OG products that I have just been binge watching some of my favourite YouTubers' old videos, and this is just something I really wanted to do. I went through my collection and I pulled out some pieces. The pieces that I still have, a lot of them I did have that are gone now because obviously they're very old, but some things I have kept or repurchased. And I just thought this would be a really fun idea for a video to sort of bring back some products that perhaps we haven't talked about in quite a little bit of time. So I'm going to start off with primer. Looking back at the videos, I didn't find that people were so crazy on primer as they are now. I feel like that's just a general trend that back then, I'm talking sort of 5, 6, 7 years ago, that plus actually, that primers kind of weren't something people knew about. So I think the first sort of people and the pioneers of primers that I remember was Urban Decay. So this is the Urban Decay Complexion Primer Potion Makeup Base, and it's the pore perfecting one. So this is not the full size. It used to come in a big tube like this that I think was a dark purple colour for the whole tube, I think. But we're going to just try this one. I got this in a recent cohorted box and I've never actually tried it before. So this isn't an stay! Sit down. Sorry, Milo's moving around, but there's like, because I've got my lights on, there's cords everywhere and I can just see him knocking something over. Sit down! It's got a very thick, oh my gosh, that looks ultraviolet. A very thick, like, silicone texture, which is not my favourite, but I will give it a go, of course. So this is kind of a new one for me, but I do remember it as an older product. Okay, so that's the primer. My face looks a little bit white from it. What I'm also going to apply, and this isn't technically a primer, I'm going to be using it as a setting spray as well, but I like using it as a primer too, because that's technically what it is. It's not technically a setting spray. But this is the MAC Mineralized Charged Water with the diamond dust water, whatever it's called. I loved this. This isn't the original top. My top broke, so I had to use an Urban Decay top, but I actually really enjoy this. I might go and get some more. Okay, so foundation. This was a tough one because I feel like obviously back in the younger YouTuber days, the kind of more drugstore foundations were more prominent, but this foundation to me is one that still sticks in my mind as a foundation that was one of my first proper foundations that I love and I really don't see anybody speaking about anymore on YouTube. It was the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. This was my first proper foundation that I bought at IMATS of 2012. Don't, because that means it's 5 years old. It still looks fine. I have used it before. This is more kept for sentimental value, but I think we just got a Makeup Forever in Debenhams near us, so if they still do this, I don't even know if they still sell this, but if they still do this, I am 100% going to get another one because it was such a good foundation. This is a really good colour too, but there's absolutely no colour shade name on here. The only thing is at the bottom is this reference number. I don't know if that's helpful at all. If you can see that there. Can you see it? But yeah, everything else, there's no sort of shade name on it at all, so it's a bit weird. Let's take a bit of this. And then the way I'm going to apply it is with the holy grail of makeup tools. We didn't have beauty blenders back then. This is like, we're talking sort of 6, 7 years ago when YouTube was like first becoming a real thing, and like people just used to watch it like they do now, but the beauty community was just obviously so uneducated compared to today, but we didn't have all these crazy products for every single thing, but I mean, Sigma brushes are still my favourite to this day, but the flat top F80 Kabuki was the OG for foundations. Like, you were somebody and you knew what you were doing on YouTube if you had Sigma brushes. This one especially is like the best selling brush. Like, this is the one brush that I know everybody has used. Sigma F80, it's amazing. So let's go in with that. So, well, wow. Okay. So this is an oil-free foundation. So I have got normal and a little bit dry skin, but I did think, like, when I was looking back on everything, maybe it was just the people I followed, but I'm pretty sure it was more of a trend back when YouTubers started and when makeup used to become like a proper thing, that matte foundation was way more desirable than glowy foundation, which is really strange because I feel like today glowy foundation and having that real like dew, you know, it's all about the highlight, it's all about the glow nowadays, whereas back then it was literally like matte everything. It was really refreshing actually to go back on some old YouTubers, like my favorite YouTubers, going back on their videos and just sort of getting a really fresh perspective, because obviously these YouTubers now are just so big that you kind of like, looking at the new format of videos, like how professional they are, it does look amazing and I can totally appreciate it because I love media and I love like all the equipment and all the fuss about it, but you do really miss the raw side of it, and that's why I think my vlogs, I like to keep them very uncut and very unedited, because it sort of gives me 50-50. I get to play around with these videos where I can be a little bit more, you know, artsy and throw some stuff in if I want to, but then the vlogs always stay true to what they are. Alright, so, oh, the neck is not looking good. Okay, so the foundation's still looking great. I still really like it. It is definitely verging on the more matte side compared to what I'm used to. Going on to concealer, I had to pick the Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer. This was everything on YouTube. I remember watching, because obviously Hard Candy we couldn't get in the UK, and at the time when I was watching these videos I was living in Kuala Lumpur, so you had, like, I had even less chance of getting any of these, most of these brands. I remember seeing so many people talk about this and how high coverage it was and how little you needed and how amazing it was, and it stayed on all day and blah blah blah. It was only so many dollars, it's super cheap from Walmart or whatever. And when I went to America, I had to pick this up, but I remember seeing loads of bloggers that like went to go get it and it was always sold out on their vlogs and stuff. So when I got it, I was hell excited because it's the Glamouflage Heavy Duty Concealer, and it is a huge tube. I'll probably have this forever. But it comes in the same format as the thing. It's quite a thin consistency, like it isn't a cream or like anything thick. It would run down my hand, like, as you can see. But I'm gonna use my finger because that's what we did then. We didn't have any fancy products, like I said, so okay. I'm gonna just go again. I mean, these products are older, so they may not perform exactly as they did before. Okay. Oh god, it's got such a like clay smell. Ah, I shouldn't be putting this on my face. I want to use my brush to blend these ones in. I've given it a really good shake, by the way, so it isn't like just liquid coming out or whatever. Oh guys, it smells like Play-Doh. I think that means it's time to throw it away. Okay. It also feels really oily. I think this one might be a little bit old now. Wow. Oh, I feel my face feels really greasy. Can you see how much shine? I don't think it used to do that. I'm pretty sure it didn't. I just need this to like dry for a bit, like, whew. So I just went off camera for a few minutes to see if it would sort of dry up, but it's kind of not really done much, so. Powder time! So for my powder, it had to be Revlon Color Stay. This is still prominent in the market, but this was definitely the good powder in the drugstore at the time. And I'm going to use the Sigma, what's this called? Large powder F30 brush to apply this. So let's take a bit of this and just mattify me, please. It's not looking like terrible, considering my makeup used to look terrible back a while ago. Okay, usually nowadays I'll go in precision as well and get like a brush and set under my eyes, but we didn't do that, so I'm not gonna do it. Okay, going into more products, let's go to the eyes. So for the brows, again, brows were not a huge trend back at the beginning of YouTube. Like now, it's all about the brows. The only thing that I could think of that stood out to me that I've had for a while and that was also quite promoted on YouTube at the time was the Whitening Lightning Brow Bar to Go. This I was so excited about when I received it. It's by obviously Whitening Lightning, which is part of Gerard Cosmetics. I got sent it in a PR package with a few Gerard Cosmetics stuff, so I am going to use this, and this is in the medium to dark or dark one, I think, so let's give this a go. It comes with this little brush, a wax, and 2 powder colours. I've got the blonde one as well from when I'm blonde, and all the wax is gone, and like I've hit pan on the other 2, so I definitely used it a lot back in the day. So I'm just going to take a bit of the wax on this brush here, which kind of cringes me out now, because technically what we're doing is we're making a pomade using wax and pigment, so like that's all they've done now. Okay, so I'm going to try and like use the wax to put my brows in place. Then I'm just going to use an angled brush. Again, I'm using all of Sigma because this is, oh, except this is like rubbed off. It's the E5065. I'm going to just mix the 2 colours together. This one's a lot warmer, this one's a lot cooler. And I'm probably going to predominantly be more of the cooler one, but let's just go in and fill my brows in. I have to admit, back in the day, I didn't really care so much about my brows. I didn't care the shape, I didn't care the filling them in, going out and stuff, but now, like, I love filling in my brows. Like, I feel like it just makes my face. If I'm wearing no other makeup and I just want to look a bit more put together, I will do, like, the blackest of black brows. Like, I love dark brows since my dark hair. My brows are greasy, my face is greasy. That powder has, like, helped a very tiny bit. This is so much harder than a pomade. I don't know why. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Not just a powder, like a powder on its own would be completely different, but because you've got the wax already on your brow, it's like you have to blend the powder and the wax together on your brows. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there because I could go on and on and on and on with brows. We all know this, so I'm going to leave it there. It doesn't look too bad, but they would have looked a hell of a lot worse when I did them 7 years ago. Going on to eyes, while my face hopefully tries to sort itself out and set, because there is no way I feel like I could blend contour or bronzer or anything on this, because I just feel like it's going to move the whole foundation. That's how horrible this actually feels on my face. And I think it's down to the concealer mainly, because I put a lot on and it kind of spread everywhere. The foundation was fine. So for eyeshadow primer, of course, it's no other than, again, the pioneers of primers, Urban Decay Primer Potion, and this is the long-lasting eyeshadow base. They had a few. This was the original. I think it was the only one they had. I still remember going to my counter when it was in Debenhams, when it was tiny in Bristol, and going to get this specifically because I was so excited because I'd seen it on YouTube, and it was when I came back from KL for 1 year to see my, well, not 1 year, when I came back 1 year for holiday to see some of my family, and I think it was like, it must have been like £20 or something like that, and I remember it was like my first, like I had money and I'd given this money to get it, and I was like, oh my god, I've actually got this now. It's so sweet. Like when you're younger, like it's so important when you buy one, like a nice piece of makeup, for you to appreciate it, because YouTube nowadays is so not real, and because a lot of, you know, beauty YouTubers audiences are young, they're like in, you know, 10, like my audience as well, some of you guys may be, you know, very young, and well, it's just, it's not realistic. Like getting, you see all these bloggers, they get sent all this stuff. First of all, probably it's them getting sent it, it's not them buying it. But then the other ones who've got a lot of money, you know, it's like they just, it's not, that's not real life. It is when you get older and you've got a job, and if you want to still spend your money on that, then that's cool. But when you're in school, that's not real life. Don't feel like you have to have all these makeup palettes and all these high-end Marc Jacobs this and, you know, Gucci whatever makeup. It's like, no, you don't need it at all. The drugstore is amazing, and own it while you're young. You know, like, just do it, because it's not real life. It's too expensive, and you know, you have the rest of your life to buy that sort of stuff. When you're working and earning like real money, just appreciate the small things you get, because like getting an odd palette like that's really high end, like an Urban Decay palette, I just really appreciate it, because that feeling goes away when you get older and you don't appreciate it as much, and it just becomes a kind of everyday thing. Moving on to eyeshadow. I originally thought, okay, of course we've got to use the Naked palette, but I thought, oh, every Tom, Dick and Harry's probably done that, and people are still using this nowadays because it is a great palette. Obviously it's neutrals, it's always going to be great. Christmas, I know they still sell millions of these, so what I decided to do is pull out my Wet n Wild trio eyeshadows. Do you guys remember these as well? There was the very famous one which was called Walking on Eggshells, which I still have somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's in like a backpack that's underneath my bed, that's under my mattress, that I used to take to my ex-boyfriend's house to wear. But I haven't got that with me, but I've got these other three. So I've got the Silent Treatment, which is like a more smokier one. There's I'm Getting Sunburnt, which looks like that. And then there's Sweet as Candy. And Sweet as Candy was the sort of second most popular one, so I'm going to go in with that one. And it's very similar to the Walking on Eggshells. Seriously, look at this. So it's got the, come on, focus. It's got the brow bone, crease and lid colour. Like, oh my goodness. Do you remember how cool these were? I remember I specifically was like searching everywhere to get these on eBay, and I think I did get one of the Walking on Eggshells on eBay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the brow bone colour, which is just a light white colour, and put that all over the lid to set that primer. And considering these were like American drugstore, okay, wow, this is a little bit shimmery. Considering these were like American drugstore, I think they were literally like a couple of dollars, if that, maybe just over or under. And the quality of these eyeshadows, I still stand to this day that Wet n Wild do fantastic quality eyeshadows. I'm going to go in with the crease colour, which is a like darker brown. They're all shimmery as well, by the way, which is really nice, because again, I feel like nowadays it's either matte eyeshadows or like crazily glittery ones. It feels weird only using like one colour in the crease. Makeup nowadays has just got too complicated. Like, why do we use like 5 colours in the crease and like eyeliner, black eyeliner that goes out to like the end of your face, and like it's just so much nowadays. Like, there's just so much makeup, there's so many steps, it's very complicated nowadays, whereas before it was definitely a lot more chill. Alright, now for the eyelid colour, which is pink and shimmery. I never use pink shadows. I use like, everyone uses the really warm colours now, like, oh, Milo just yawned. Everyone uses the really warm colours now, which is like the, you know, the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, the bright oranges and stuff like that, which I have to admit I really like. I really do. Alright, there we go. And then we're going to go back in with the brow bone colour and actually put it on the brow bone. Oh wow, this is just, this is all too shimmery. It's just too shimmery for me. Okay, moving on to the eyeliner. This one's nothing special, but the Urban Decay 24/7 liner was kind of like the first serious liner I think everyone kind of loved. Am I right or not? I'm not going to go overboard with this because I really don't want to keep black eyeliner on. And this stuff like stays on for days. So a little bit of black eyeliner. I wanted to use the Wet n Wild Mega Liner for the top of my eyelashes. Top of my eyes to do winged liner, but my one's just dried out, so I couldn't use it, but that's what I would have used if I could. Mascara. Okay, this is the Lash Blast Volume. Holy crap, do you remember this one? This is the orange one. There was a green one as well, which was the Lash Blast Fusion? Volume Fusion? Was that it? I can't remember. Anyway, it looks like this, and it's got this really thick brush, so let's just put this on. I picked this up the other day because I was looking through and when I was looking for this video, and I wore it the next day, and I do that all the time. It just did not come off. I was like cleansing it in the shower, trying to get it off my eyelids and it was just not coming off my eyelashes. Like I specifically grabbed a cleanser and was like running my fingers like this through my lashes and it would not budge. Oh, you are joking me right now. Oh guys, it went on my flipping stool. Right, I've let that dry because it's a lot easier to remove if you just do that. Can you see how much foundation's just come off? That doesn't happen usually with normal foundation. That's because it's just not set. Look, I can still blend it. This is ridiculous. That concealer is garbage. My face is like starting to look semi-decent, but look. If I do that, you can kind of see where it is. Like, it's so movable right now. It's ridiculous. Moving away from eyes, onto the face. This should be interesting. We're going to go in first and foremost with a little bit of a contour. Again, contour wasn't really a big thing back then, which is now. All the big things that are now were not back then. But of course, the one thing that everybody still has, but was also the OG of all products, is Benefit Hoola. Alright, so I don't expect high hopes from this, by the way, because it's probably just going to go very wrong. Okay, that's all I'm going to put because I've got another contour product to use. Not contour, bronze. Okay, then for bronzer, we all know this product, the NYC Sunny Bronzer. Of course, this is in Sunny, which is 720A, and it just looks like this. Again, I've hit pan because I still love this product. I mean, I don't use it very much, but I definitely agree this is amazing. I got this in Walmart for like $1.89 or something stupid like that. So let's just go in with a bit of Sunny Bronzer. Add a bit more colour back in my face. And it's kind of like not blending out as bad as I thought it would actually. It's not going very patchy. I thought it would go like super patchy considering it's you know, the foundation's not setting very well. But it's not doing too bad. You're just staring at me doing my makeup. Would you like me to do your makeup? Okay, let's go a little bit on the forehead. Okay, this is sorting out the colour balance as well between my neck and the face. There we go. Moving on to blush. Not a ton stood out to me except for these, the Wet n Wild Colour Icon blushes. These, again, were amazing for their time because their pigment is insane. I've got Mellow Wine and Heather Silk, and I feel like these two were one of the top products, like the top colours they did. I'm going to use Mellow Wine today. Milo is just so like grumpy. He's like yawning and groaning at me. But these were really really cool because they had like the USP of being super pigmented. Like just one swipe, barely any pressure. It does give you like full on colour. Touch it in once, that's plenty. Can you see how much colour payoff you get from that one tap? Like, it's a good and bad thing because obviously it's good if you like a strong blush because it saved you time, and like this never runs out and I don't ever expect this to run out, but at the other time it can be like that looks a little bit harsh, so I need to like really buff it out. Okay, that's it for the face. There is no highlighter because I couldn't for the life of me find on any of these old videos people recommending a highlighter. It was not a thing. The only one that kind of reoccurred was the MAC Soft and Gentle. I never got that. I never had any interest in getting that. But basically it was all about the baked shimmery powders that weren't necessarily called highlighters at the time. Whereas now there's so much highlight going on. It's ridiculous. We're going to move straight on to lips and finish this up. A lip liner, first of all, which is the NYX retractable lip liners. I feel like these were definitely a thing. So I'm just going to line my lips. This is in the colour, I think, Nude. What colour is this in? Oh no, Vanilla Sky. Hi Grandad, I'm just doing some videos. I'll be up in a bit.
You're on the way? Yeah, because I got another lantern.
No, I'm not on the way, Nan. I've got to do a few videos.
Okay, as long as you never had anything to eat.
No, yeah, I haven't had anything to eat.
Okay.
Alright, see you in a bit. Bye. That's the lip liner. And then for lips, There was quite a few choices. It was the biggest category to choose from, but this in my collection just stood out to me the most as something that I'd always heard about on YouTube and always wanted and finally got. And again, when I bought it, it was like this crazy thing where I just kept looking at it and I was like, oh my god, I actually own this, la la la. And that is the OCC lip tars. They don't even make them like this anymore in this tube. So I was super excited to get this, and this was in the colour Hush, which was one of the most popular. Milo, will you stop being so loud? It was a bit of a weird, you know, mechanism. A lot of these are like squeezy tubes, but you would squeeze out this pigment and it would basically just be this very, very pigmented product if you've never heard of it before. And I am using an angled brush, sorry I don't have a lip brush to hand. I'm just going to mix it in on the back of my hand like that to get it over there. And oh wow. Bit light. I think they make these in like the mintiness. I can taste a little tiny bit still of the mintiness, but not a lot. That's what they were sort of known for, having the minty layer. Okay, guys, I think this product as well is like, is not going to work very well. That looks horrible. I've had this as long as I've had my other foundation. I bought it at IMATS, the first IMATS I ever went to, and I do think it's had its time. This is not going on well. It's not setting, it's lost its mintiness, it's turned into Play-Doh smell, and it's just like sticky as F. Showing up every single line in my lip, not blending at all. You agree? I have to change this lip. Let's choose something else. Okay, we're just gonna go in with the Gerard Cosmetics lip glosses. These are the ones that like light up, that like everyone spoke about, because it's, oh, that one's lost a light. Look, it's only got one light. It's got the mirror on the side, and this is in the shade Shimmer of Hope. What's that? Why do I always choose the palest colours? That looks semi-better. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of throwing back to some of these products. It isn't the best makeup I've ever done in my life, but I think considering some of these products are 100% definitely expired and completely out of date, that I did an okay job to work them. But be sure that I'm going to change this all over for the next video. But I had fun playing around with it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you can think of any specific OG products that you relate to, like watching videos back in the day, like years and years and years and years ago. Leave them down below, because I'd love to sort of have the bit of nostalgia while looking back at them, and perhaps even do another one of these videos if we get enough recommendations of different things that I can go pick up. Or maybe buy online. Remember to subscribe for more of these videos, of vlogs, and all sorts of other stuff coming soon, because I'm trying to expand this channel. And give this video a thumbs up if you like this OG makeup look. Not that you'd probably do it, but oh well. And I will see you all in the next video. See you later. Ciao.